Hello and welcome to another episode of the Shug Show. And I got shit with me here today. And then we got a special guest, our friend Phil. Hey, Phil.
Hey.
Lynn, you there?
I'm here. Can you hear me?
I can hear you.
Okay, so...
Can you hear me?
Yes.
I can hear you.
Okay, good.
So, but listen, you know,
I
always have to say this, Adam. Phil went dark on my screen, but just keep talking, right?
Yeah. It might cut out, and it might not look right on our end, but most of the time it goes together right in the end.
And you know what?
Hey, that's all that matters. That's all that matters.
So, Phil, we are so glad to have you join us today. I'm so excited. I've been looking forward to this.
Oh, I have been too.
I'm sorry it took Adam a while to get it together.
Yeah, I always
we'll blame Adam. It was this stuff.
Yeah, I try to do podcasts all the time, and Leah's never available because ever since she got this real job, she can't never have time for me no more, and so it's all her fault.
That's how it happens. That's how it starts.
So I think even when we have guests, Adam, you're gonna lie, huh?
Yeah. It can't be my fault.
So, for everybody that don't know, this is Phil Godbey. Am I saying your last name right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Actually, you did. Yeah.
Oh, yay. So this is Phil Godbey, and we all met on TikTok. And I'm going to let him. So Phil, I'm going to put you on the spot. So can you tell us that everybody can obviously go follow him on TikTok, but tell us what your platform is on TikTok. Like what do you share? What do you do?
My platform it really is kind of all over the place sometimes, I think. I didn't really care for all the comedy and the lip syncing because I'm not good at that. I'm just not. It's just, I can't do all that stuff. So I just started doing, inspirational things, like motivational. I got it actually from Adam and from Ophelia. I got it from her too. Just to be more positive in what I consider a negative place sometimes, which is all of society, and just trying to be more positive and look at things positive. So I started off trying to be funny, and I think I'm more naturally funny, just witty, than come up with something on the spot to be funny. I can't do that. So I just shifted it a little bit, and I tell some stories, some personal stories and family stories and things like that. And I use the platform for that, but also more than anything, just to encourage people to enjoy their life.
And, Adam taught me. So when we met in April of 2021, Adam and
my life changed forever.
For the best. Anywho, so I wasn't doing TikTok at all then. And then he said, you should do it. And of course I did it with my mother, which is Mabel. She's the star of this. But I would always,
she really is.
Adam. I'm like, I want to be as big as you. Like I want as hundreds of thousands of followers. And Adam has always taught me that it's not about the number of followers you have, but it's about who you are in your platform and how you reach them. So I have learned from Adam, it's not about the quantity.
I've learned that too. Adam's got hundreds of thousands of followers because he's the big star that can't even message him on Facebook anymore because he's so high profile.
He's famous.
But he is. He's famous. I went to message him a few months ago I hadn't spoke to him in a while. And it wouldn't go through. I was like, what is going on? And so I wrote him on Instagram. No, it wouldn't go through. It said, do I have a question to ask you? I was like, wait a minute now. Like, I've talked to him off and on for a year now. And now I got to ask him a question?
Okay, but Adam, didn't you change your Facebook to where it wasn't like a regular page? I mean, didn't you do some changing or something?
Well, no, because we're friends on there, ain't we, Phil?
Yeah, we are. I just couldn't write you anymore.
So I don't know why, because I talked to him on Instagram, but I don't know why that message wouldn't go through because we're friends. I mean, even non-friends can send me messages. It just goes to the others folder or something. I don't know. I don't know how to work any of this.
But when that happened, I was like, yeah, he's famous now.
And now that page don't even work.
Oh, well, of course not.
Well, we're glad you got him on Instagram at least.
Hey, Phil, did we ever tell you Did we ever tell you how me and Lynn met?
I knew you all met from TikTok, but I really don't know the story of how you became friends. No.
Lynn was a stalker. You know, she's like one of those people that, you know, you probably shouldn't write back. And she's just like, hey, message me. I know you don't really know me, but call me. Here's my number. And then, like, every day since then, she has called me.
You know what? We kind of met similarly, too, but it was over a newspaper article.
Yeah. And you know what, Phil? I'm jealous.
What?
I'm jealous.
Are you?
Because that's how she got me. She was going to write a newspaper article about me, and it still has not been written yet. So I'm jealous that you got an article because I didn't.
I do got an article. I've seen it.
Okay. So, Adam is full of shit. And the way that really went down was, well, first of all, if somebody tells you to call him and you think they're a stalker, you shouldn't call him, honey. You jump right on that. But it was because he was showing chickens or had all his chickens, and a little girl down here, we call her Mac, she was showing pigs, and she wanted a new pig, and wasn't she wanted a new pig, yeah. And I tagged Adam, and honey, he helped her get a pig. And from then on, I was like, he's got to be in my life. And he came into my life. And I did.
Well, me and him kind of met a similar way, but it was
article.
He did a live. He was on live on TikTok, and I just wrote a comment. And you can't say a whole lot in the TikTok comments section, so it was like very brief.
Right.
And then me and him had like this 5-minute exchange back and forth, and then like he accepted, followed me back, and then he blew up one of my videos for me. I was like, okay, I guess we're friends now. So there was never any of those, hey, you want to be my friend? It was just kind of there. So,
and yes, I did do an article on Phil. And Adam, I did talk about you in Mac's article.
Yeah, she said that little bitch helped her get a pig. That's all she said.
You know what? I'm gonna have to do an article on him because he always whines about the article.
You're going to have to do one. I don't know what it's going to be, but you're going to have to do one.
She knows too much now. She can't do an article.
Great. So
it might be the most read article that she's got.
Right.
This might do me wonders over here. So I want to tell everybody why we brought Phil on, other than he is mine and Adam's friend. But Phil went through a weight loss journey, and I was like your biggest cheerleader that you didn't hear, because I wanted you to be the very, very best and do the very best you could at this. Having suffered from an eating disorder back when I was 14, 18, and 21, I was anorexic, and over the years I put on weight. Well, I lost a whole lot of weight about 2 years ago, year and a half ago, from being very sick, not having an eating disorder. Of course, everybody that knew me thought I had an eating disorder. Again, I promise you I like food way too much, so that was not the case, but I was sick. And so I want people to understand where you were when you decided to do that. So that's my first question, is when did you decide to start your weight loss journey, and what brought you to that point? What got you to deciding to do that?
Well, see, I started gaining weight a lot when I was about 10 years old. Believe it or not, before then, I was actually 6 weeks premature. And so I was very small, like a very small child. And then when I turned 10, I just started gaining weight without any really rhyme or reason. I hadn't changed diet, nothing really out of the ordinary. And high school was just difficult because of, and not really so much of bullying, just feeling kind of like the odd person out. You know what I mean? Like literally feeling like the elephant in the room. Like always feeling like somebody's looking at you and you're the biggest one there. But even after that, like, I didn't date in high school at all. Never had a girlfriend. Which a lot of that was my own insecurities, right? Just never approached a girl to ask out. Just didn't think that I would be a good enough catch for somebody, I guess. And then when I met my wife, of course, that all changed. And it's not been like any one specific part of the journey. I've tried to lose weight. Gosh, if I could tell you how many diets I've been on, I mean, it would 25, 30 would be short list, right? Like, it's been something that's been bothering me for years. And when I first became a dad, that was when I tried to really take control of it. But it didn't work. What ended up happening was I got a skin condition that literally started from head to toe. I was actually working out, trying to lose weight, and I was losing weight on this plan that I was on. I was hitting the gym. I was doing all the things I needed to do. I was working out with a personal trainer. I was doing all these things, the diet, everything. And then I just started getting this rash that started on my chest and started spreading to the rest of my body. Well, for a year and a half, I couldn't do anything. Like, it hurt to move. It felt like sandpaper all over my body is the only way I can explain it. And so after that, they put me on steroids. The only time that I wasn't in severe pain was whenever I was on steroids. And you know what steroids do to you is they make you hungry and they make you gain weight rapidly, right? Anybody that's been on prednisone for a month will tell you, hey, I ate more in that month than I've ever eaten in my life.
I'd be ready to chew on a 2x4.
And this is coming from somebody that has dabbled with marijuana. I'm just saying, I ate more on steroids than I ever did with the munchies.
Right.
So, and I gained more weight that way. And then when I moved back to my hometown in Kentucky, I was like, you know what? I've really got to do something about this. I had a son on the way. I was feeling like a horrible dad because I didn't have any energy to do anything. And when I say no energy, I mean literally no energy, like pain all the time. Like my back hurt, couldn't sleep at night. Just nothing felt good. And it wasn't so much the vanity anymore of losing weight, wanting to look a certain way or like it was in high school, because that's what it was in high school. Well, I want to look better. Now I just want to feel better, and that's when it becomes different. You're like, I need to just do something to feel better. And so I got with a surgeon about the gastric sleeve, and I put that off for a good year and a half. No, I can do it on my own. No, I can do it on my own. Don't need surgery. And I was basically lying to myself because I didn't want to give up food, right? Anybody that likes food, you don't want to give it up.
Right.
Yeah. And so after about a year of basically lying to myself, I just, you know what? I got to do this. I can't. The scales aren't going down. I need to do something. So I went to the pre-op little seminar. They said you were a perfect candidate. They went to set me up with a cardiologist. My heart was fine. It was good for surgery. They done the EGD where they run the scope down you to make sure there's nothing on your internal to make sure you can handle the surgery. They found a hernia, which they took care of during surgery. And they set me up for it July of last year, which is kind of, by the time this comes out, it will be July. So almost a year, so it's great timing that we set it up this way, blessing in disguise, I guess you could say.
And we didn't even plan it.
Lynn was on to something. She knew she was going to wait till it was a year, right? So
I would like to take credit for that, but no.
Bob Ross used to call it happy accidents, right?
All right.
Me and Adam have a lot of happy
so So I got the surgery. The first 6 weeks after surgery was the worst 6 weeks of my life. I will not lie about that. I had pains in my shoulders and my stomach. I mean, I was in a lot of pain. And then you can't eat nothing, but you're not hungry, but that mental thing of you got to eat is still there, right? Like you think, I got to eat something. Well, no, you're drinking everything that you're eating, and everything tastes the same, and it's all tasting horrible. So that was rough. But people always talk about, and I don't want to cut off your questions here. I'm sure you're going to ask more about the surgery. But people say that it was the easy way out. I've heard that. Oh, you're cheating it. Let me tell you something. The surgery is by far the hardest thing that I've ever done as far as just adjusting to life.
Right. Look, I don't think the surgery, I don't think that's cheating. I think that's a tool you use to get to where you want to go. I mean, because if I was in the same place, that would be, one of my number one choices, because it's there. Why not use it? We use tools for other things. Wouldn't you rather have like a power saw than a damn, that's not cheating.
Right. Right.
So, and if you don't want to answer this question, you don't have to, but I'm very curious. So can you tell us what your weight was when you went and what it is now?
Yes, and I don't care a bit to say it now because it's a lot. I've lost quite a bit of weight. Whenever I went into my first appointment, I was 495 pounds. I was a shy under 500 pounds. I am now right around like 355, which that's a lot of weight. Thank you. And I'm working on it every day. Like, it's not something that I'm just, I've lost over 100 pounds. Now we can take the foot off the gas. No, it's the new normal.
And it's still something that you have to work at every day because eventually you could gain the weight back. So it's not like it's just an easy fix, No,
it was definitely not. See the inner workings of it, they take out 75% of your stomach.
Right.
Which doesn't leave you much of a stomach.
Right.
You cannot hold very much food at one time. Trust me, I have tried. It does not work. It comes back up.
But
it's not like
people don't know that. People like me and Adam and other people that have not experienced the surgery or knew somebody that experienced the surgery, we don't know that part of that. We don't know how much they take out. We don't know any of that, So that's just like wild to hear.
Yeah. And, like I said, once that's filled up, you're done. And it's not, maybe I can finish this plate. It's, you better stop now or you're going to get rid of all of it.
You're going to be sick.
So, yes, basically, yes, to be blunt.
Right. And so what is your weight goal? Do you have a goal?
I do have a goal. My first goal has already been met, was to lose 100 pounds. That was my very first goal.
That's awesome.
My next goal is to be under 300. Long term is just to be at a healthy weight for my size. I'm about 6 foot tall. I think the healthy weight is like 220, 230, somewhere along in there. Right. That's the ultimate goal. Now, that's still a long ways off. Like I'm not stressing over it. I'm not trying to hurry that up. It's a process. And that was a big thing, too. This is a process. It's not overnight.
Well, and at our age, because we all middle age now, it's just about feeling good and everything. It ain't about looks no more. It ain't about being skinny. It's about, being healthy and,
Yeah, I'm married. I don't have to be, I don't have to look great anymore. I'm happily married at that. I'm not looking, right? Like, so that's, and yes, to an extent, because we are all human and we all do have some vanity. There is some of that to it. But the more I do, I put on TikTok, I went on a hike a couple weeks ago, and that was difficult. I walked almost a mile, and I was like, I'm going to die. This is where they're going to find my body. I'm just going to die right here. And they're going to come find me.
Now, see, and too, just about, because, I'm gay, and a lot of them gay people, they like to have muscles and shit, but I'm glad that me and Eric's been together forever, because, we ain't got to do all that shit no more. But now, I'm not telling you that if I ever got rich, I wouldn't buy me those muscle implants, because I am still a little vain, so if I did get rich, I'm going to pop up with muscles one day, and y'all don't say shit about it. I worked hard to get them.
I will write a story about you.
The implanted muscles.
All right.
So,
they got those.
So, Phil, this leads me to another question, which I wrote down some questions, but I knew that when you were talking, it would make me ask other questions.
Hey,
so,
can I stop you 1 second? I just want to say, I'm jealous how he just explained everything without even... Did you practice? Because you just went through and you just did it perfectly.
No, because he didn't know what the questions were going to be.
No, I have no idea what the questions are.
I'd be like, like, I couldn't do it.
He did that flawlessly. We'd have jacked it all up when we had him.
Right.
So,
well, thank you. I appreciate that.
So, of course, I've seen people on your same journey, but I don't know them close enough, because you got to be careful what you ask. So my question is, and I know you won't get offended with anything I ask, but my question is, so you lost all this weight, so you're going to continue on this weight loss journey, but is there a time where you have to get rid of like the excess skin and stuff? Because I know for me, losing 125 pounds, I don't have it hanging everywhere, but they're under my arms. It's skin. I don't know, it is, but it doesn't bother me because I'm so glad I'm better now. But I'm just saying, like, is that the next step, or what happens?
Well, here's the thing with that. And yes, that is the next natural step that people usually take. For me, I'm trying to avoid that as long as possible. And the only reason being is because they say that surgery is very painful.
I bet.
And I don't know, like, I cry when I brush my teeth too hard. I'm not very good at pain. Like, you can ask my wife. Me and pain does not mix. I don't do pain well. But I have been going to the gym. I started going to the gym a few months ago, and basically, I'm trying to head that off at the pass, I guess, and try to tone myself up so I don't have to. But if there is too much hanging by the time I'm done with this, then yes, I will do it. Not just that is more of the vanity thing, I guess, because you don't want it to hang. You don't want it to look kind of bad. And well, yeah, you lost all this weight, but there it still is. It's still hanging there. Like, what are you going to do with that?
But I think you're doing the right thing.
Yes. And they say that the working out, like I've looked into it, and that was the goal, was to always get into the gym. I'll tell you this too. I was so nervous going into a gym. Just being like, I just don't do well with gyms. Like, I'm looking around at everybody the first day in, and then I'm okay. Where do I go? What machine do I use? Like, I know how to do all this stuff. I promise. I've done this before, but my brain just left me trying to remember how to do all this stuff. But now I go first thing in the morning before I go to work, because it's a really nice small gym. I got 2 showers in there, so it's not like you're showering with a bunch of guys in football. None of that stuff, which, if that was the case, there would be no showering for me. I would just go stinking, I guess, because
even though I'm gay, I wouldn't do it.
Well, for me, it'd be more embarrassing. Just well, I'm going to strip. You're going to strip. Okay, now let's go get in the shower.
Right.
I'll shower with my wife. I'm not going to shower with somebody else, right? Like, that's me. That's my time. So I just go take my shower there before work, get cleaned up, and then I go to work. But yeah, it's little small gym. When I try to get there around 7 a.m. and work out an hour before work. And there's hardly anybody there. There may be a couple of other people, and they're either our age or even a little older. And nobody pays attention to me. I don't pay attention to them. I got my earphones on. They got their music going. They don't care what I'm doing. And that was a big thing, just getting out of your own head. They don't care what you're doing, and I don't really care what they're doing. So why would they be looking at me?
Right. A lot of times it's our own self. Like, I ain't been to the gym much in my life, don't get me wrong, but I have went a time or two. And if I went and people were there, like, I'll leave. Or like if Eric would go, I would sleep in the car, like, because we used to work together. People ain't worried about you. It's most of the time in our own head, we're the ones that's holding us back and stuff.
That's exactly what I was just going to say. See, great minds think alike, Adam, because I started saying in our own head about stuff.
Yep.
We do. So I'm not going to keep you all forever tonight, but I do have a couple more questions. So, and don't think I'm still asking this because I don't know. So, is this surgery that you had, is it outpatient, or do you have to stay days at the hospital, or what?
Well, no, it wasn't outpatient. I had to stay overnight. Wait, I stayed 2 nights. I'm sorry. The first night, I don't remember. I don't remember waking up. I remember I woke up with gas pain, severe gas pain in my shoulders. It's kind of funny because I asked the nurse who came there to see me, and I just had opened my eyes, right? Like, I'm still drowsy from anesthesia. I said, why is my shoulders hurting so bad? She said, oh, it's gas pain. I said, well, how do we get rid of that? And she said, you got to walk around. I said, well, let's walk around. And she said, no, you can't walk around right now. I said, no, we are walking around this hospital or somewhere to get this pain down. I can't. It's no. And she said, well, if you want to walk, we can walk. So she walked the little monitor thing with IVs. And I held on to that, held on to her arm. And we walked around the hospital. It didn't make the pain go away. But that was all I remember. She lied to me. And then went back to bed. And then I woke up the next morning, and this was my very first realization that everything had changed from this point forward. I got breakfast. Obviously, it was broth. It wasn't like a meal because I couldn't eat anything. And they had a cup of coffee, and I love coffee. I drink coffee every morning. Love coffee. And you know how sometimes when you get to, do both of you like hot coffee?
When it's cold.
I don't do coffee at all, but I drink Sprite. That's my coffee.
Okay. Well, I love my coffee when it's hot. I don't like it when it gets cold. Or I can drink an iced coffee, and I like it that way. But if I'm drinking a hot cup of coffee, I don't want it to get cold. To me, it tastes nasty.
Yeah.
So I'm trying to finish this cup of coffee, and it gets cold, and I just down it. And it felt like I was swallowing razor blades. Like it hurt. And I was like, oh, okay, yeah. Everything has just changed. And that was my first realization that nothing was the same again. And it hasn't been, but I've learned to adjust to it now.
So do you ever get discouraged? Because when you first have the surgery, weight does start to fall off faster. And then you get kind of where I guess you would say, like, maybe even out some. And so maybe pounds are harder to get off now. Do you get discouraged, or do you just make another small goal and another small goal? And
yes, and I'm not going to lie to you and say that I never get discouraged. I do at times, but as long as the scales are still going down for me and I don't weigh myself every day or every week or anything like that, I try to limit that. And that's my own mental game, because if I was to weigh every week, then I would be discouraged. So I have made myself, okay, don't go weigh every single week. Skip this week, skip next week, whatever. As long as they're still going down from the last time that I went on the scales, I'm okay. If they stay the same, yeah, that's a little discouraging. But then again, it's like, okay, let's adjust here. Let's do this different. Let's increase water. Let's decrease this. Let's whatever I have to do. Make sure you're still hitting the gym. So, yeah, in a way, yeah, I can get discouraged, but if I don't weigh myself all the time, it's pretty good.
Yeah, because
weighing yourself can create big issues, weighing yourself every day. Because when I started this little diet in June, because I wanted to get a few pounds off, I weighed every single day. And about a week ago, I realized that was so unhealthy. I could not keep doing it. So I'm like you now. I'm just going to weigh maybe once a month and readjust things, because I'm not. That's just not good.
Right.
What was you gonna say, Adam? I'm sorry, I didn't mean to.
I was just say, because we got this little scale right here in the bathroom, and I weigh every day. And I mean, just from different times of the day can change. So it's really not good to weigh every day. I mean, it's not really good.
And for me, I think that, they said Mr. Rogers weighed himself every day. And he weighed like 120 some pounds every day, or 200 something. I think it's 223. Is that right?
Mr. Rogers?
Is that how much he weighed? Yeah.
Oh, I figured he'd be less than that. I'm not sure, though.
I figured he'd be less than that.
But he weighed himself every single day. And if it went up or down, he was upset with himself. And I just thought, I can't do that. That would play on my mental. I couldn't do that. So
well, I thought I could do it in June when I started, but then I realized quickly that the mindset of I wasn't trying to be anorexia again, but the mindset is there. I can't help it. It's there. And so my child told me, he said, I'm telling you right now, if you start starving yourself, I said, I'm not doing that. I'm just trying to be healthy. I don't want to put the weight back on. That's the fear. If you've ever been, and I tell Adam, because he's never been chunky, but when I was,
I have. I'm not no more, but I have.
Well,
when I was in high school, I weighed 200 pounds.
Okay.
Oh my gosh.
I mean, he was.
I wore a husky.
But
you remember husky?
I was.
Y'all remember that?
I mean, Lord have mercy.
I do remember.
But I was almost 300 pounds, and I know I don't want to get back there. So I finally think I got my child to understand that I wasn't trying to starve again. It's a fear of you don't ever want to go back there. When it's gone, you don't ever want to go back.
And you have it from the other perspective too, of being anorexic. See, I don't have it from that perspective. So you have a whole different perspective of both ends. You don't want to be unhealthy either way. So right. I commend you for sticking with your plan too.
Right. Well, I mean, it can be difficult eating, because we live in America and it's all there. We have all these choices. And I do get tickled from time to time because Adam will call me and say, I'm on a diet. I'm losing weight. I've gained too many pounds. I'm losing weight. And then that night he said, I didn't lose any. I'm done with this. I'm like, did you am I lying, Adam? You give it one day and you're done.
Well, I try to drink a glass of water. And if I don't lose no weight, I'm done with the shit. Like, I'm drinking a Coke.
And he means a glass of water for one day, Phil. He doesn't mean like a glass of water for a month.
Oh my gosh!
So
some of us are blessed, and others, I guess.
Yes, Lord help him. But so another question, and then I'll let Adam ask any questions he may have. But so what are some things? And I know you touched a little bit on what you were having no energy or whatever. But what are some things that you see that you're able to do now that you couldn't do? And I'm sure one of them.
Oh my gosh!
Children, but.
That's a laundry list of things that I can do now. And I'm going to give you the smallest ones that people don't think of from being overweight, that people like Adam don't think about for other people. But stuff like I wake up without back pain now, which is incredible. I woke up with back pain for years. I can fit into normal size booths now at restaurants, which that's a big one. A lot of people don't think of that. You get to a booth at a restaurant and you're a big guy that's almost 500 pounds. You're not fitting in a booth. And you go to a restaurant. Oh, can we sit you in a booth? I can't fit, and that's embarrassing. Let me tell you, that is embarrassing to say. No, I can't fit in your seat, which you're about to feed me more American food to continue on this path. So you need to get bigger booths. No, you need to lose more weight. So, but. Let's see, what else can I do? The hike that I went on, that was a thing I never thought I would do. And just having more overall energy. Like, I didn't want to go anywhere for a while, for a good long while. Saturday, we're taking my son, who just celebrated his 4th birthday, to go ride the train. Here in Kentucky, we have a train that you can actually ride, and he is big into anything with wheels and a motor right now. So he's looking forward to that, and I'm getting to go with him, and just small things like that people don't really realize it all the time, and I mean, heck, even just walking around without pain is a new thing for me.
Because you've been
because that's another thing.
You've been given another life.
Yes, and I said that the other day, and I'm glad you brought that up, because I was sitting there in the gym the other day, and I was changing my clothes. It was after my shower, and I was tired, because I'd worked out for an hour, and it was a rough workout. I think it was full body day, which is I get everything. And I said, as I was sitting there, I was tired, and I started praying, because that's what I usually do after I work out. I just have a little prayer time for me and then go on about my day. And I thought to myself before I started praying, I said, you know what? This is what I prayed for in high school, was this second chance at life. I prayed for, just another, if you just help me lose this weight, I promise I'll do this. Or, how you bargain with God sometimes. We all do it. But, if you just take this weight off of me, I'm not going to do anything to take it off myself. If you just take it off of me, I promise I'll do better next time. That's usually our mentality.
Right.
But I sat there and I said, this is what I prayed for. This is that second chance that I wanted, for years. And I'm putting in the work to do it. And for some reason, and it was before this, it was last week, and we had talked about doing this. I wanted to make sure I got that out there, that this is what I prayed for years. And yes, it's hard. You can't eat, and you can't eat like you used to. Obviously, I can't eat much at all anymore. I go to places like I'll tell you this story. I work out, like I drive a lot for work, and I always stop somewhere and eat. Well, this little gas station that I stop at, they had the really good specials where I can get, a good protein. And usually that's all I want. And they had meatloaf, and I just meatloaf. And I think it was a side of potatoes. I said, just a small scoop. This lady brought out this meatloaf, and I swear it was a meat mountain. I don't think I could have ate that even at 500 pounds. It was huge. And so I ate, what I could eat of it, but obviously they don't understand, yeah. And a lot of people don't. Whenever you say, no, I can't eat that, it's, what do you mean you can't eat that? Like, I physically cannot eat it. Like, I could try all day. It's not going down. So just half, please.
Right. I mean, I'm just amazed at everything in your story and your journey. I'm so glad we got to watch you with this. I'm so glad that it just happened for you, and it's not easy, and you still do it every day. And Adam, do you have any questions? Because I took up the whole time.
Well, that's normal. So I want Phil to tell everybody what his catchphrase is on TikTok, because I really like it, and I think it's really important, and I want him to tell it.
Do you want to know where I got it from or why I started using it?
Yeah.
Okay. I started using it to myself because it was at a point in my life when I started using it that I was not feeling love for myself. And so I would end that to me. And right. The catchphrase is love yourself. And I was saying it to myself. I was saying it to everybody that was watching the videos, but that was for me because, right. I needed to love myself too. As much as I'm telling you, love yourself, I'm telling it to me.
Right.
And I don't know if you do.
That too. What? I'm sorry.
That's all right. I don't know if you rewatch your videos. Do you rewatch yours?
No.
You don't?
No.
Okay, I do. Because I am so picky about what actually goes. If it doesn't look right, if it doesn't sound right, I will throw that thing away. You don't do that?
I hate to hear myself talk.
Oh, I thought you meant rewatching after we post.
No, I meant rewatching your own videos.
No.
Oh, I used to, and I used to fix it where I made a mistake, and if you could see my double chin, because my daddy gave me 28 of them, I would change it and whatever, but no, I don't. Adam taught me to stop. Adam said, be who you are and be done with it. And so, no, I don't.
The only time I will redo a video, but I do not rewatch it. The only time I will redo a video is because I get tongue tied a lot. If I just mess up the whole beginning, I will redo it. But I cannot watch myself back because I don't like to hear myself talk. If Eric's in the bed and he watches my video, I'm like, turn the shit off. I already know what I said. I don't want to hear me.
Well, see, I got the radio voice anyway, so I kind of don't mind hearing my own self now.
Right.
Because people's been recording me forever. Here, say this. Here, talk like this. Or do put this on YouTube. Okay. So it doesn't bother me now. So I listen to it, and that's what I was saying. When I said love yourself at the end, I knew I would go back and watch that over. And that was almost like a mirror, saying it to myself. Take time to love yourself. And that's really...
That's like with the inspirational bullshit of the day. Like, a lot of time that's me talking to myself. That's not... I mean, yeah, I'm putting it out there for everybody else. And people's like, how are you always so positive? And I ain't. I'm not always positive. A lot of that shit I'm telling to myself, but I figure somebody else can hear it too. Like, a lot of times I deal with depression and anxiety. I mean, I take medicine for it. And, I try to only post happy videos because that's what I want to put out. But, a lot of it's for me too,
So do you have...
And that's the same.
Do you have merch that says love yourself?
I did. I used to have some shirts, and I moved, and all those shirts did not make the move. I moved houses, literally. We put a new place where this place was at, and I don't know where they're at. They did not sell. I know that. I didn't sell a single shirt. I'm not Adam. I can't sell merchandise. Are you still selling merch?
I don't never advertise it.
No?
I don't like it. But me and Lynn are actually, being you said that, me and Lynn are actually opening up our own little clothing line. And it's not necessarily all about us or whatever, but that's in the works. So we're going to see how that goes.
And we think it's going to go better. So Adam had his own merch line, and then me and Mabel had ours. And you sell some hit or miss, whatever. But our whole new idea now is not only stuff we do. It's not really going to be an Adam shirt or Lynn and Mabel shirt. It's going to be just a clothing line. And so we're so excited, but I could see how Love Yourself would be such a great shirt. That's why I asked if you had done that. And before we get off here, because I know we've got to end this pretty soon because somebody's got a dinner date. But his birthday was yesterday, so I'm sure that's why. So I'm good with that. But I do have...
Oh, yeah, happy birthday.
Thank you.
I just have to ask, so I think the world of you, Phil. I love your wife, your children. I think it's precious. But your daughter is who I connected with. I cannot remember because I'm old, but she was doing something. Something happened at school, and she wanted to give a little boy some snacks or something. Do you remember this?
Do what now? Sorry, I lost half of that.
Oh, shoot. Okay, well, see, I wasn't going to repeat it because Adam told me not to.
What?
Not to repeat anything. So your daughter, so I connected with you with your daughter when she was doing something. You had done a video about a little boy didn't have snacks. And do you remember this?
Yes. She was befriending the troublemaker in class, who would get in trouble on a daily basis, pretty much. And my daughter just said, he doesn't have snack. Maybe he's hungry. Maybe that's why he's doing the things that he's doing. And she come up with that all on her own. That was no, coaching from me or my wife or mother. That was just something that she had picked up on, being in class with this kid. And she said, I think we should take him snack. I said, I think you're right. And we started taking snacks, extra snacks. And we would do it more for just in case anybody needed a snack. But we actually got so many donations for that. I do want to say that. And we appreciated that so much because people were just using my Cash App like, hey, make sure these kids get these snacks. Make sure. And that really put back, a little bit of faith in humanity. I know we see all the bad and you can. You don't have to look very hard to see the bad that goes on. It's everywhere. But when people was reaching out to me to help these kids, I was like, you know what? There's humanity right there, and just little stuff like that. Just taking the time. Hey, make sure these kids have a snack.
I know that's what I did, Adam. I was like, here, you don't know me, but please give her this money to go shopping for snacks. This is like precious.
But, I want to say, too,
yes,
we see so much bad on the internet and stuff. And I'm just talking about from my personal life with the people that I'm involved with. There is a lot more good people in this world than there is bad people. We just get shown the bad people more because it makes a better story. There is a lot of good people,
Right. I say that, and I don't want to get news on you here, but the news is nothing but ratings. You know what I mean? Like, you're not going to get a lot of ratings with a good, precious story of kids. No, it's going to be what's the worst thing that's going on in this town today.
Right. If I watch
any drama that you watch.
If I watch the news, I'm going to be sad and depressed. And that's like during COVID, Eric was off of work and he was sitting there watching the news. And I'm like, you've got to stop. He was getting so down. I can't listen to a whole bunch of bad shit. I like to stay in my own little world and I like to be happy. I mean,
Well,
I don't watch the news. I don't.
I started to say, being a news person myself, I don't watch the news. And B, I only do good stories. I do not do the pandemic. I do not do who's killing who's doing. I don't. And so my stuff does get shared, but you let a good juicy story come up, and the Martin News is gonna fall because we don't do that. And I'm not changing that. I won't do it. I do not. Nope, won't do it.
Right.
But that's just my opinion. That's just how I feel. But so I know that we've got to go. Phil, it has been an honor to talk to you and have you on our podcast. I cannot tell you how much we're thankful.
Yes, we do appreciate it. You are our first guest.
Oh, well, hey, somebody's got to be first. So thank you.
You was our guinea pig.
We're proud you took us up on the offer.
Hey, my wife gave me the phone whenever Lynn called, and she said, Lynn's on the phone for you. I said, okay. For what? I don't know. I took the call. You want to be on a podcast? Well, yeah, I want to be on a podcast. Who don't want to be on a podcast?
Like, absolutely. You want to be on a podcast with me and Adam? And he was like, heck yeah, I do. I was like, okay.
Yes. Put me on a podcast.
But.
So I'm so excited, and I can't wait. Like I told you, it'll be out. What day did I say, Adam?
It'll be out Sunday.
Sunday. But you go ahead and be telling all your people. We're gonna send them your way too, so maybe you'll get you some more followers too.
Hey, that'll work.
Well, thank you so much, Phil. And Adam, I'll give it to you now because you have to do all the goodbyes and blah blahs.
You put me on the spot, Lynn. Now I don't know what the hell to say. Anyway, thank y'all all for watching. We do appreciate it. We appreciate Phil for coming. If you're not already subscribed, hit subscribe. If you don't already, hit the bell. But now I'm going to tell you about that little bell. It's going to tell you every damn time that I post a video, and that's a lot. So if you don't really like seeing me a whole lot, don't hit the bell, okay? Anyway, thank you for coming. We enjoyed it. We appreciate y'all, and we'll see y'all next time. Bye, y'all.
Bye.